Hey, today I am continuing my journey of a whole bunch of Robin Hood films, and I have finally made it to the 1990s. So today I am talking about three 1990s Robin Hood films, and the names of the three films that I'm talking about today are Robin Hood Men in Tights, Robin Hood 1991, not the one with Kevin Costner. This one is British. It actually came out a month earlier. I'll get more into it later. And the last one is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the one with Kevin Costner. It came out in June. The other one came out in May. It's a whole thing. This one's American as well, so yeah, whatever. Anyway, so those are the movies I'm talking about today. First up is Robin Hood Men in Tights. This is a 1993 Mel Brooks film, and this is the whole reason I did this whole silly thing, because I wanted to watch this movie again, and I couldn't decide on any Mel Brooks movies I wanted to pair this one with, so I was like, let's do some Robin Hood movies, and then I was like, let's do all of the Robin Hood movies, and so here we are. Thank you. But this stars Carrie Ellis, and I have seen this before, but it's been forever. But even though it's been that long, I'm surprised there's a ton I remember about this movie. So this one does a lot of the classic story stuff, but more so it really picks on Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, and rightfully so. That movie has a lot of issues that I'll get more so into later. And I do appreciate how it made fun of that movie, but I kind of wish it would have gone away from it a little bit. I did love this movie. It's so much fun. It's definitely ridiculous and absurd and super silly, but I had a big old smile on my face the entire time. It's great. I love it. I do have a number of problems with it though. So firstly, I know it's a parody movie, and I've seen a lot of Mel Brooks movies, and they're filled to the brim with pop culture references, and I understand that. And I did find a lot of the ones here funny, but I feel like the film didn't need those. Like, it felt more like a crutch. It's just simple, easy humor to do to fill in the gaps from all of the smart humor, because this movie does have a lot of really smart humor. And I love the jokes that poke fun of Robin Hood stuff. I think that's great. And I think they easily could have told a genuine story with the same cast, still having lots of jokes, and probably even making it more of a musical, because there's only a couple of songs in here, and like, they could have done more. And it would have been even better and more timeless. Because like, yeah, the pop culture references, like the Air Jordan joke, they're funny, but like, it definitely dates this as a 1990s movie. Carrie Ellis, I mentioned him, and now I have to talk about him, because he's so flawless in this role. Like, he nails it. He almost got cast in one of the other 90s Robin Hood films. Like, he nailed it here. So like, having a little bit more serious of a film, he could have really truly thrived. Like, he was amazing here, but like, he could have been, well, I mean, he's iconic here. Extra iconic, sure. Let's just go with that. The last complaint I want to make is really my biggest one, and that's Maid Marian. Because I really love how these stories have characterized her. Because she's a very strong character, an independent woman who can really legitimately hold her own. And she's not really seen as a damsel in distress. She does usually get like little bits of damsel in distress-y things, but it's kind of more like a lot piled on top rather than just like classic damsel in distress tropes. Whereas this film is just, she's just a damsel in distress. That's all she is. Like, it's very blatantly so, because that's like the whole chastity belt thing, which is really funny. But the other Robin Hood films have done such a good job of making Maid Marian more than just a damsel in distress. So it's sad to see her in this parody just being less than. So that sucks. And again, I get it's a joke. It's a joke. It's 100% a joke, making fun of that trope. But from what I've seen, the Robin Hood stories I've witnessed haven't really done that trope. So it feels kind of unnecessary. But even with all that, I still crazy love this film. It was an easy, really liked. I would definitely recommend it. It holds up. I mean, it's definitely very, very 90s. So get prepared for a lot of 90s things. But it's a great time. Totally recommend it. Next up is Robin Hood 1991. This is the British one. This features Uma Thurman as Maid Marian, and it's really good. This film does so many things right. Like, its Robin Hood is really, really solid. Uma Thurman is great as Maid Marian. Like, in the beginning, I wasn't super into her, but then she eventually runs away to be with the Robin Hood gang, but she's in disguise as a boy. And everything there was wonderful. Like, after that turning point, she was great. And they definitely like kind of amped up her feminist qualities, but Maid Marian's always been a feminist, so so I'm okay with her being a feminist here. And they did a good job making her smart and capable and stuff. I really enjoyed the dynamic between Robin Hood and Fulkent. He's the rival in this film, and they have good chemistry together, and they have good fight scenes together, and it just, I don't know, the movie was a lot of fun. It had a lot of really good action. All the side characters worked really well for me. It was just all around just a really solid Robin Hood film. So I would definitely recommend this film in general, but if you want a good, more modern Robin Hood film, like you don't think you can do like the 50s or the 30s, this is definitely one to check out because it works really, really well and tells the story well. And lastly is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. This is the Kevin Costner one. And it's dumb, but it's a lot of fun, which is, as I've said before, a key staple of a good Robin Hood film. This one does a lot of stuff wrong, but it also does a good amount of stuff right. First off, the main problem with this movie is that it casts Kevin Costner as Robin Hood, and he just does his normal Kevin Costner charming self, which is nice, but he's not British. He doesn't even try to be British. He's just Kevin Costner. This is the first film that features the Muslim character, which I really, really like. It first was in a TV show prior to this, and the writers of the movie thought that it was in all of them, but it's not. But I really like that inclusion because it makes sense. Like, if Robin Hood goes to the Crusades, he befriends people wherever he goes. Like, he's a very charismatic guy, and he would totally befriend a Muslim and bring them back to England. That's just like a no-brainer. Plus, like, it adds another like different perspective, and I really, really like that aspect. Morgan Freeman's an interesting choice. He was fine. This is also the first film that really showcased his treehouse stuff. Most of the time, if they even show anything, it's like just regular looking houses in the woods. But this one, it's legitimately like Ewok Village up in there, and I love it. It's great, and that was a lot of fun. That was a big fun set piece. This one also has Alan Rickman as the sheriff of Nottingham, which I love a lot. He is just hamming it up really ridiculous. He cancels Christmas at one point. And he makes for a great, great villain. But like, it also makes me sad because it's just like, I wish he had someone better to play off of. Not to say that Kevin Costner isn't a good actor. It's just, he's not Robin Hood. What are you doing? Come on, America in the 90s. Get with it. This also does one of the classic Robin Hood issues of trying very hard to be cool. He does it so much, especially with Christian Slater. His character is supposed to be just like the really cool guy that we're supposed to connect with. And it's trying way too hard. It's like, come on, guys. Though that being said, I did like Christian Slater in this film. He was pretty good. I think he made for a good, compelling Will Scarlet. So yeah, this is one of the more dumb Robin Hood movies that I've watched. But it's still fun and does do a good job of capturing the essence of it. So yes, I enjoyed it. I would still recommend it. It's dumb, but like, it's fun. And that's what you want in your Robin Hood movie, is a fun time, and this is a fun time. Also, there's a lot of cool fire stuff in this one, and I like that. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Robin Hood, Men in Tights, sitting at number 16 in the really like section. And then after that is Robin Hood 91, not the Kevin Costner one, sitting at number 17, also in the really like section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, sitting at number 27 in the quite like section. And this is out of a total of 42 old movies so far this year.